Hi, everyone. Welcome inside Horsburgh Gymnasium. We are on the campus of Case Western Reserve University for today's Claude Scherer duels in Manchester with a win right away. Mason Jones came out and gets a pin. He's got 19 wins now on the season. The main mat that you see here is the dual mat. You've got Manchester wrestling Mount Union right now. Following that will be the host school, Case Western Reserve, hosting both Manchester and then Mount Union at the end of the day. And, Tom, we saw talent right away in Mason Jones for Manchester. That was a quick match. I mean, it was over almost before we got on the air.
Yeah, Mason wasn't messing around. He came in as the 13th ranked wrestler in the country, Division III, at 125 pounds, and gets the Spartans of Manchester off with a good start here and a 6-0 lead with the pin.
Mount Union, of course, in the purple. Manchester, the Spartans out of North Manchester, Indiana, in black and gold. I was talking to some of the Spartans from Manchester, Tom. About a 4-hour bus ride. They're just outside Fort Wayne, Indiana, if you're looking for a familiar place in the state of Indiana.
Got a landmark there? Thank you.
Yeah. Wrestling on the edge of the mat right now are the Tom, the difference between lightweights, the guys we're seeing now, and then as we advance into the weight classes and guys get a little heavier, is what, do you think?
Well, action in general. The matches tend to be a little bit more wide open here at the lighter weights. So they really get after each other, sometimes a little bit higher tempo, but when you get up into the upper weight, sometimes it becomes a little bit more methodical. But with the new scoring system, with 3 points for a takedown, 4 points for a new fall, it's really kind of encouraged wrestlers to open it up a lot more than in the past.
There's a takedown for the Spartans of Manchester. Got Lane Armstrong for Mount Union and Adrian Orgel for the Manchester Spartans, and this is Orgel on top.
Orgel comes in with a 2-2 record.
Tom has, as Orgel, puts pressure up top, shoulder on shoulder, and there's the switch, and there's the. Has he given escape points yet?
No points yet.
No
He's
points
still
yet.
locked in the crotch there. We still in control here.
So Orgel trying to hold on to that waist, and Armstrong really concentrating on the ankle right now.
Armstrong trying to put him in a danger position, not happening. Orgel getting his hips back up on top of him. Looking for a tilt here, too. He's got the bottom arm trapped. Going to look for some back points. Now he comes back up, and he gets that just crossbody and
right
got
across
the
the face.
Yep.
Reaching for that top ankle, driving that head into right in the small of the back. Back to my question about pressure. A lot of times, you ride low, you keep them, but there's been an awful lot of pressure up top too, hasn't there?
Without question. And here we see the turn here, a little Turk with the leg in, picks up 4 point, going to pick up 4 points near fall as soon as he resets here. Give himself a set, Orgel with a 7-0 lead here.
Really controlling
inside of 10 seconds here.
And the turn. Got 3 seconds left in this period. And it's over. 4 more points for Orgel. And he's up 11-0 before you can have a blink of an eye.
And we just saw an example of what I was talking about, the 4 point near falls, 3 point takedown. So that's a takedown, two 4 point near falls. We're 11-0 at the end of the first period. Very, very different than a couple of years ago.
Some wrestlers like to just continue to build points for a technical fall. Some of them go for the pin right away.
Well, I think that it's become a bonus point game, especially with the new scoring system. I think you see teams that win dual meets that are scoring well in tournaments are getting the major decisions, the tech falls, as they go through it. And certainly Orgel here looking for the tech fall.
Got the
right
takedown. Goes right to the wrist, Tom.
Right.
Controls that that wrist of his opponent. In this case, it's Lane Armstrong from Mount Union, who's on the bottom right now. And then drives that arm and just puts it in a chicken wing behind the back.
Yeah, he's back and got that arm. He's looking. He's going to reach across here and just look for that Turk over again. There he goes. And when he comes back to his base, that'll be it. That'll
and the
make
technical
it
falls on its way. And there it is.
Just like that.
So Manchester with a pin and then a technical fall in the first two matches of the afternoon as Mount Union wrestles Manchester in the first duel of the day.
Manchester jumping out to an 11-0 lead here after the first two bouts.
Tom, the difference between a dual meet team and a tournament team is what, do you think?
Well, sometimes you can score well in tournaments with a couple studs that are going to be on the podium. Dual meet teams have balance up and down the lineup, so maybe those kids aren't always placers in tournaments.
We got a forfeit here for Manchester.
Manchester will go up 17-0 as we go into 149. This will be Jack DeBow.
DeBow's had a real good year. 14 wins, 4 losses.
Out of Mentor, Ohio. Non-stop action, Jack DeBow is.
So the Purple Raiders will look for their first victory of the morning. Not yet noon here on the campus of Case Western Reserve.
DeBow comes in here at the 10-2 record.
Tom, do coaches of programs, in this case Mount Union and Manchester, have signature styles with their wrestlers? Like, Manchester, an attacking style team, at least to this point. Is that a reflection of the wrestler or the coach or both?
I think overall, yeah. But I think the attacking style is what we've come to anymore. Again, harping on the rule change here. DeBow in a lot of trouble right now. Brody looking for the fall. I think this is Arthur Brody from Manchester.
It is Brody against DeBow, and we are very close to a pin.
Brody comes in at 8-1, the junior, and gets the fall over Jack DeBow. So all Manchester to start with here.
Boy, they are really laying the wood right now.
Go up 23-0 on the Purple Raiders of Mount Union.
It was Calamy who took the forfeit at 141 for Manchester. This one's going quick. I mean, we're
getting back to your style.
Match in.
I think you see teams reflect some of the coaches, and I'll pick on Ohio State a little bit. Jay Jaggers is the assistant coach down at Ohio State, and Jay's known for his cradles. And if you watch Ohio State wrestle at all this year, you'll see that they really cradle a lot, especially in the lower weights, and that's a reflection of, I think, some of Jay's instruction.
You'll see Ohio State tomorrow.
Yes,
Tom,
I will.
And they wrestle against Indiana, correct?
Down at the Cavalli Center tomorrow.
It's a wrestling weekend for my partner here at Case Western with 3 duels today. And then tomorrow he'll watch Ohio State take on Indiana. This is Brady Schiffey from Manchester and Giovanni Dunick for Mount Union.
Dunick, a product of Padua High School. Actually a winner of the Al Carroll Scholarship for last year from the Greater Cleveland Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association.
Purple Raiders looking for their first taste of victory in this duel so far. 2 mats going on here at Horsburgh. We've got an exhibition mat right next to the duel mat. And you'll see a lot of different guys get opportunities to wrestle today for all 3 teams that are here. There's the
Dunick does a nice
takedown
job
points for Dunick.
Picking that near side ankle and just getting a spin around for his 3-point takedown.
Some guys are mat wrestlers, some guys are on their feet wrestlers,
yeah,
correct?
Exactly. And that kind of goes, Ohio's always been a state where a lot of wrestling on their feet. You go just across the border to Pennsylvania, and they're tougher than all get out on the mat. You don't want to wrestle underneath a Western Pennsylvania wrestler because they're going to grind you on top.
Dunick trying to get inside. work that upper body and pick the ankle.
Working off a Russian tie there, trying to get into a high crotch. Nice job of blocking there. Now Dunik's caught in the front headlock.
This is Schiffy for Manchester.
Schiffy trying to bring him to the mat with it.
Brady Schiffy on the season, 11 wins, 8 of them by pin. This is Dunik inside.
Kind of in that drape position.
How long will they stay
yeah,
here?
You saw it right there, about 4 or 5 seconds. If the referee doesn't see any action out of it,
yeah.
In the scrambles, the way college wrestling is anymore, as long as they're scrambling, the referee's going to give them a little time to do that. As soon as they go into neither wrestler really trying to advance their position, they're going to stalemate that and get them back on their feet.
This is our first match of, I would say, competitiveness so far, 5 in.
Shippy with trying to hit the high crotch, and Dunik dropping his hip on it and trying to scoot around back. He's got the ankle picked, trying to get his hips up on top of this right now. Shippy underneath that leg, not letting Dunik finish. He does the drive.
And
there
he
he goes.
turns
Does
it.
a nice little.
That's a
Nice
reversal.
little roll through. Dunik gets his 3 there. Goes up 6-1 with less than 10 seconds to go here in the period.
Has that ankle just driven up almost
Shippy.
into the back of Schiffy.
Shippy looking for some late period points. Nothing doing there.
And the period's over. Schiffy will be on top. Dunik's up 6-1. Mount Union looking for their first win.
Dunik quickly to his feet. Shiffy looking for the cradle on the way up, doesn't get it, but got the leg elevated. Now Dunik trying to kick out, gets his 1. Squares off here to make it 7-1 with about 1:45 to go here in the second period. Both wrestlers locked up in the collar tie right now.
Yeah, these two have tied up a lot. Dunik trying to come around.
Trying to work that front headlock. Picks up the ankle. Got to come around and pop his head. There he is.
There's the
3 for Dunik.
takedown. Immediately goes legs inside. Tom, it's not that Mount sees Manchester a lot or Manchester sees Mount a lot, but, you know, wrestlers have certain strengths as well, too, and you kind of know that, do you, when you're going into?
You do, and there's so much film on people anymore with Huddle, and it really, not like the old days where you were counting on somebody to go out and take a look at them. I think there's so much available on film, and they've probably wrestled in some open tournaments together, too, so they've seen the Manchester wrestlers. They know what they have.
And really at this point, when you're at the collegiate level and how early and trying to get out of that, but Schiffy is still held down by Dunik. A lot of these guys may know each other from biddy wrestling. I mean, all the way back.
Yeah, you know, they've all probably wrestled freestyle or Greco at some point in time, so they might have seen an opponent sometime during the summer through that competition. Maybe been out to Fargo for the Nationals for freestyle or Greco and seen some familiar opponents out there. These guys are all that level of wrestler right now.
Schiffy really having a hard time getting off the mat. Dunik in total control. It's 10-1, and this period is about to end.
Dunik with 1:35 riding time as we enter the third period.
Tom, eventually, does riding time just mentally wear down an opponent?
Yeah.
If you're on the bad end of that riding time?
It wears you out. It really sucks the life out of you a little bit when guys can really just throw the boot in and just kind of grinding you on top. Schiffy in on trying to finish again. Dunik doing a nice job of coming back and locking in the crotch.
He's
like
really
he did
done
the
a
last
nice
two
job
times.
defensively, hasn't he?
He's countered that high crotch really well. Schiffy hasn't been able to switch off to finish it, and Dunik in the crotch again, elevating Schiffy. Now he's going to come out the back and gets his 3.
Turns it into points. It's 13-1. Minute 20 left in this period. It has been a Manchester run up until this point.
I was going to turn him loose because he is going to look for that tech fall here. 13-2. Take down and make it a tech fall right now for Dunick. And still working the collar, tying the wrist in the center of the mat here.
He's a careful wrestler.
Yep. Shiffy knows he's been countered on 3 shots, so he's going to be a little bit more careful with his shot right now. Trying to work into an underhook. That time, Dunick tries to hit the Jap whizzer. He does, and comes out the back there. His nice Japanese whizzer comes out the back.
16-2. 25 seconds
left. He's got riding time, so that'll lock. If he can stay on top here, that will give him the tech fall.
His riding time's above 2 minutes now.
Riding time's locked in, so he's just going to keep that arm pinched down here for the last 15 seconds and not give Shiffy the chance for the escape and get the 5-point victory for the Purple Raiders here.
Looks back at the clock, and that is the end.
So the Purple Raiders get on the board here. They trail 23-5 to the Spartans of Manchester. 165 next up.
We'll see who Mount sends out, but Aiden Stecker at 165 this year for the Purple Raiders has got 9 wins.
You got Aiden Stecker and Garrett Van Gooten listed as the starter for Manchester. We're not sure who they're sending out there just yet.
3 duels today. This is number 1. Manchester and Case Western will wrestle, and Mount Union and Case Western will also wrestle. So we've got Stecker against Van Gooten.
Van Gooten, okay. Van Gooten Jr. comes in at 6-6.
Garrett's earned 23.5 team points so far this year for Manchester.
Stecker, the freshman, comes in at 9-2 for the Purple Raiders.
Mount Union in purple.
Stecker, a freshman out of Salem, Ohio.
Purple Raiders, of course, wrestle out of the Ohio Athletic Conference. Manchester out of Indiana. North Manchester, Indiana, to be exact. That's Stecker.
Nice double. Finishes it off, gets his 3. Nice straight shot double by Stecker there. Van Gooten trying to get back to his feet. Stecker just turns him loose.
So Van Gooten long and lean, Stecker more, built to the mat, so to speak. When you've got a matchup like that, Tom, and it's not significant, but it's noticeable enough, is there an advantage for any side?
No, you want to finish quick on long and lean guys because they tend to drape and they get in all kinds of funky positions for you just based on their size and their body length. And, so there's nothing per se but again, but with any wrestler, you want to finish quickly. You don't want to give opponents chances to get into their counter mode, but the long and lean guys tend to be able to drape and lock in crotches and do some things that sometimes when you're a little bit more compact, it's a little tougher to do.
Van Gooten looks like he's trying to set up for that crotch shot almost.
And some head pressure here
Sweep
by him.
Through, pick the ankle.
Yeah.
Tom, when they tie up, and there's a shot at a single leg for Van Gooten. And the strength of Stecker
really nice shot
out of
kicking out by Stecker there.
Yep.
That was that Van Gooten's length there. You saw that shot where he maybe doesn't have to be as deep as somebody else. Try to stand up with that, and Stecker, nice job of hipping into him and just mule kicking that leg down, not letting him finish that single leg.
Tom, is the sprawl still a used defense?
It is because it gets you right into here. It gets you into front headlocks. Because I still think, as I just saw some stats not too long ago, that the snap down spin around is probably the still most highly regarded takedown in NCAA right now.
This is Stecker trying to secure himself, and you know the length of Van Gooten right now is really in his favor.
Van Gooten trying to just be heavy on his head right now with his body, not.
Yeah, he's got his hips right into the shoulders of Stecker.
Trying to keep Stecker's head on the mat so he can't finish here. Awful tough to finish on a guy when your nose is planted in the mat.
10 seconds left in this period.
Trying to pick that ankle. Stecker doing a nice job of staying locked on that leg.
Driving that back of Stecker's neck into the mat.
That takes a lot out of you for Stecker. When you're underneath and kind of getting hammered on like that in that sprawl position, that takes a lot out of you.
Tom, a lot of work goes into the strength of the neck of a wrestler.
Oh, without question.
And it has to happen because, boy, you really get it manipulated in every match that you wrestle in.
I had an assistant coach whose favorite saying was weak head, weak body. And that, you know, just as when he taught our young kids to wrestle, it was we hammer on the head. If we can keep the guy's head on the mat, we're going to beat him every time.
My wrestling coach,
Stecker, quickly to his feet to get the 1-point escape to go up 4-1 here in the second period.
Used to talk about he would literally say, you know, from the top of your head into your spine, you want a steel rod.
Yep.
And that's how you need to approach that strength of your neck.
Well, and it's about core strength. It's about strength, you know, through the back of your neck, down through your spine, into your hips. This is about core strength, which, you know, in most sports they talk about the core, and certainly wrestling is no exception to that. See Van Gooten go into the 2-on-1 trying to get some penetration there. Stecker just taking him into a front headlock position.
Yeah, really driving those shoulders. It's 23-5 Manchester, team lead in this duel match between Mount Union and Manchester. And it's the Purple Raiders' Aiden Stecker who leads this lineup 4-1.
Stecker with the early takedown, kind of been in defense mode since then. It's been more Van Gooten's attacks. Stecker leading 4-1 here with inside of a minute to go in the second period.
At what point, as an official, and maybe it happened just then,
he's telling me he wants action.
Hey, I want you to wrestle.
He's saying action. He wants to see some action, and there he is.
Stecker
in on the double again. Now he comes up into a body lock. Van Gooten tries to throw a headlock on him.
He's close.
Stecker trying to come out
yet.
the side of it. Does.
There
Pops
it is.
the head,
Wow.
gets his 3. Nice shot by Stecker. Nice counter by Van Gooten. He just could not. If you don't bring the hips through right away on that front headlock, odds are you're not going to be able to finish it.
Well, his low to the base, Stecker, during that, I think really helped him. 18 seconds left in this period. It's 7-1 now. Aiden Stecker of Mount Union.
Van Gooten gets the escape inside of 10 seconds here.
Stecker's almost, I think, you know, he's okay with giving up an escape point and goes for another takedown. That's kind of the way that this match is played out.
Those 10-second ones don't make the coach very happy. They want you to keep him on the mat. They don't want you to give up that cheap point there at the end of the period.
It's 7-2. Stecker of Mount Union over Garrett Van Gooten of Manchester.
Van Gooten goes into the down position to start the third period. Looking to pick up a quick one to make it 7-3 and see if he can make something happen on his feet.
Stecker with 36 now, approaching 40 seconds of riding time.
Stecker trying to trap the hip there.
Van Gooten trying to slide those hips out.
Van Gooten using his length there so Stecker can't roll the wrist in on him.
And there's
nice turn out there to get his one to make it 7-3 with 1:30 to go here in the bout.
Van Gooten went right at him, coming out of that escape. It's 7-3, Mount Union. Aiden Stecker over Garrett Van Gooten. I think Stecker's strength is giving Van Gooten trouble.
It is. It's making it harder for Van Gooten to get any kind of penetration on him at all, work inside on him. There he's in on that head inside singles, got the leg up. Stecker immediately whizzes and brings him to the mat. Going to make it tougher for him to finish. Now Stecker gets behind the arm, trying to
and he's got his takedown.
Nice job by Van Gooten to keeping his hips back. Stecker was trying to hit a little Merkel there to try to bring it through for the takedown.
Little push out for the escape, but it's going to go 8-6.
8-6 now. Still
Stecker
plenty of time
with
here.
The lead. 43 seconds left.
Stecker getting a little sloppy.
There's that single again.
The single again. Maybe fatigue setting in for Stecker here a little bit.
Lifting it high.
Mule kicks out.
No points.
Van Gooten right back at him. 30 seconds to go here in the bout. 8-6. Stecker in the lead for Mount Union.
You can feel it in the gym right now. All eyes on this dual mat. 15 seconds left.
Stecker without a stall. Now he gets the stalling warning, but it won't be enough to make a difference in the bout here.
10 seconds left.
He's just going to keep his hips
gonna
away.
hold on,
yeah,
isn't he?
He's going to play keep away right now.
5 seconds left.
Stay in that double underhook.
And that's it. Boy, that was a great matchup, Tom. 8-6 the final. Aiden Stecker will get the points for his team, Mount Union, against Manchester's Garrett Van Gooten.
3-point for the victory there, making the dual meet score. Manchester 23, Mount Union 8. 74 next up.
Manchester came into today, they placed 5th at the Trine Invitational in the early part of November. And then they went to Baldwin Wallace in Berea and played in that BW Invitational, or wrestled, I should say, in that. And they finished second as a team. And
that's a good tournament.
That's a good tournament.
Suma's a good tournament.
So here we've got Mitchell Betts for Manchester and Jake Starkey for Mount Union. And it's Betts on top.
Betts ranked 21 in the country. Immediately into the tilt here off the takedown.
Wasting no time is Mitchell Betts.
Starkey comes in at 8-5. Betts comes in at 11-0, the sophomore.
7-0 in the first seconds of this match. Betts in favor. It's 23-8 team-wise. Manchester leading Mount Union. 3 duels here today. This one, and there's the lean again.
Another turn for Betts here. Kind of turks him over the top there with the boot in. Really got some torque on.
Tom, to finish that turn, what needs to happen? Right now, the half Nelson that's going to drive through.
He's going to jump out to the half.
Okay.
You see they reach across and pick up the far shoulder. And there's just so much torque on that with the hip coming across the spine that it's hard to keep from getting turned to your back on that.
Running that arm bar. Now he's going to.
Betts goes back to the 2-on-1 and
There
back into that tilt again. It's tough to pin out of this position, but he is getting back points. Now he's got to open up his hips a little bit if he's going to try to get Starkey's mats to the shoulder, to the shoulders of the mat there. And he gets the 4, and we get a tech fall just like that. 15-0 for Mitchell Betts.
Betts comes out, gets right after it, and finishes quickly. Jake Starkey of Mount Union.
28-8. Manchester Spartans with the lead.
Betts, if you look at it nationally, as he walks off the mat, they have 3 categories. They have, or 2 categories, contenders and honorable mentions, and Betts is at the top of that honorable mention, trying to work his way into contender nationally.
Ranked in the 20s, and he's still undefeated at this point. Got Blaine Chrisman for the Purple Raiders here. Blaine having a real nice season.
184. Chrisman for Mount Union and Ethan Risner for Manchester. Chrisman was recently named Ohio Athletic Conference Wrestler of the Week. You had a chance to talk to his dad before the match.
Dad and I are longtime friends, superintendent down at Medina County Career Center. Blaine holds many records, near-fall records down at Medina High School. So local product here.
Chrisman with the takedown.
Nice job finishing on the single right there. Chrisman started at Edinburgh last year, transferred back here to Mount Union this year. Takes the 3-0 lead here with about 2 minutes and 10 to go in the first period.
He had a great tournament. He pinned 2-time national qualifier Khalif Mitchell out of Averett at 184. Mitchell was ranked 10th national.
And his dad was telling me about that match. He was down 7-1, 10-1, came back 10-9 when he pinned him. It was a heck of a match, but he got down early and came back. Chrisman looking for the pin here, drives the bar over.
Got to talk about a neck strength right there,
yeah,
you know.
Yep. Now he's going to the reverse half, trying to finish on the edge of the mat here. He's going to get the 4 points, but he's looking for the fall right here.
Tried to pull Risner back in.
He gets the 4-point near fall.
Blaine's just a freshman, first-year wrestler for Mount Union.
Got an 8-0 lead right now.
And driving that arm bar
right
and that half Nelson.
Just the old spiral ride there. Picks up the far wrist and a lot of length. He's got that, Chrisman's got that linear strength where he really kind of stretches you out. And again, that torque in that spiral ride.
And escaping is Risner. And
that's
the point
really
total is really going to increase.
Really more off of Chrisman's aggressiveness there, really trying to come out for the pin and lets Risner get to his feet. But that's off of Chrisman just being really aggressive in the top position.
So they'll start again in the middle of the mat. Inside a minute left in this period. 8-1. Krisner shoots at that ankle. This is the Claude Scherer duels at Case Western Reserve University.
Oh, Chrisman goes for the headlock, misses it.
Risner's going to get the takedown points.
Risner slips that. Headlock gets his 3, making it an 8-4 match with 29 seconds to go here in the first period.
Claude Scherer was the original wrestling coach at Case Institute of Technology back in 1928, Tom. You were what? 2-3 years old in 28?
It just feels like it.
My partner's a National Hall of Famer in the world of wrestling. He's been around a long time. Not that long, but a long time. Going to work on the headgear of Ethan Risner. He's going to get a new set. Tom, there are certain identifiables when you walk into a wrestling room. 1, peanut butter, I think, and 2, cauliflower ear.
I was just having a conversation with somebody this week about cauliflower ear. They had really thought it was a pretty disgusting thing and couldn't understand, and that most wrestlers kind of own that as a badge of honor.
Oh,
when
sure.
You got it, yeah. Chrisman quickly into the switch. Trying to finish off that switch. Risner re-switching on him. Chrisman stepping over on it now. Risner trying to come out the back. Chrisman.
How about this?
Still hasn't scored yet. Risner still holding on to that leg. Chrisman's looking for big points here. He wants to go
really
Risner right to his back. He gets the 2-point reversal with 5 seconds to go in the period. Take a 10-4 lead as they exit the first period here.
Well, those were important points at the end of the period because it had gone from 8-1 to 8-4.
Right.
And now it stands at 10-4. This is Blaine Chrisman for Mount Union.
Chrisman wrestles wide open, so he gives up some points because of his style, but he's always looking to score. This is not a typical 84-pounder from the past. You see a lot of 3-2 matches, but never with Blaine Chrisman because he's just nonstop action.
Well, body type wise for both these guys, I think is atypical of the past 184-pounder. I mean, these guys are long and lean.
Yep. Chrisman with the escape to take the 11-4 lead here in the second period.
Chrisman's work, as we talked, is
Risner with a nice counter shot.
Tries to stay out of this takedown.
Chrisman with the whizzer. Oh,
and he'll
gives
lose
up the
takedown points.
Risner quickly with the boot in. So we're 11-7 here with about 1:15 to go here in the second period.
Risner driving that head of Chrisman.
And he's got that boot in, really pressuring across the back.
Yeah, you put your forearm on the back, the base of the head of your opponent, and you're on top of him. You know, that is just something that's hard to get up from, and Chrisman's trying to do it. Risner drives him back down. We got 45 seconds left in this period. It's 11-7. Chrisman of Mount Union. Of course, the Purple Raiders wearing purple.
Risner really keeping the pressure on here.
At what point does stalemate happen in this position?
And that's what the officials out front looking for. As long as Risner's working that head, working for the turn, he's not going to stalemate this. And he almost turns Chrisman there. Chrisman, nice job.
Almost
sliding the hip.
And
now
he
gets the reverse.
So reversal points for Blaine Chrisman. It's 13-7. We're inside 10 seconds left in the period. 28-8 match-wise. Manchester in a commanding lead. Both guys a little tired right now. They've been
pretty
really getting after it.
high tempo match, 84 pounders. But again, that's Chrisman's style. Chrisman's style. He just keeps coming at you.
Tom, you've had an opportunity to see him wrestle through his high school career. Same wrestler? Or has he changed?
Absolutely, and just always aggressive, always looking for back points, always looking to score. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen Blaine in a match that was a 3-2 or a 2-1 kind of match, because there's just so much action and he forces the action. And sometimes he's so aggressive, he allows opponents to score some points on him because of his aggressiveness, but more often than not, it pays off for him.
He's got 13 wins coming into today's duels, and that's second best on the team. Jack DeBow, the 49-pounder, came in today with 14, and then Stephen Mara, heavyweight, who we'll see later, has 13 along with Chrisman.
Chrisman ranked 19th in the nation by Russell Stat.
It's 13-7. Chrisman from Mount Union in the lead. Minute left in this period.
Takes a shot from out of it. Now he's working his way in.
Going to try to suck that in.
Try and split him here. Works his way out on the single. Yep. Works his way out.
Going to hold on to that ankle.
He's got to pick up that far ankle. Instead, he's going to come
over.
He's going to throw the crossbody. And again, always looking to score here, Blaine is. He's going to look to take Risner right to his back here.
Risner just trying to keep his base. And
there he gets the 3. He's in the crossbody. Makes it 16-7. 25 seconds to go here in the bout.
That could wrap it up unless
tries to hip over. Risner,
and there's a reversal.
Risner gets the reversal again. That's Chrisman trying to be aggressive there. Look for some back points.
Drive the head and the wrist forward. Chrisman looked up at the clock. He's got inside 10 seconds. And Blaine's going to get his 14th win of the year.
Picks up a decision for the Purple Raiders. That'll make it 28-11.
Well-wrestled match between Chrisman, the winner, and Risner, Ethan Risner. $16-9 is the final total in that matchup. It's now 28-11. Manchester with the lead, team-wise. Case Western will wrestle next.
We'll head up to 197. If they stay as planned, this would be Braden McFetridge of Mount Union. And Cameron Crisp of Manchester, if they stay as what their listed rosters are. We talked about this off the air. Coaches working some other wrestlers into the lineup here.
197 pounds. The big guys. 285 is next. Fast Eddie Karakis, the sports information director here at Case Western Reserve, tells us it is McFedrich and Cameron Crisp from Manchester. Yep. So Braden, the junior out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, had a big win recently. He beat 6th ranked regionally, Jaden Fields, at 197 pounds, 5'3", as Mount Union wrestled in a pack duel against Washington and Jefferson, President's Athletic Conference. Speaking of W&J, Case Western Reserve will wrestle W&J later this month on the 23rd here at Horsburgh.
So long-time rivalry there. Crisp, the sophomore, comes in at 9-3, ranked 43rd in the country. McFetridge look for the inside trip there, off the overhook.
Tom, the margin of error between success and failure up top, you know, wrestling upper body like these two are, it's very slim.
Very slim, yeah, very slim.
You can be on your back in a heartbeat, can't you?
Exactly, and sometimes it's the willingness of who to pull the trigger on it, like who really wants to make that happen. McFetridge works from a Russian tie back into an underhook, and Crisp doing a nice job of just blocking with his forehead there. Not going to let McFetridge kind of jack him up here. The referee's going to force a little action here. Yeah, he tells him coming around. He wants to see some action here.
A little over halfway through this opening period, scoreless. Team-wise, it's 28-11, Manchester with the lead over Mount Union.
Get a stalemate call. Referee wants to see a little bit more action there. Breaks him out of that over-under tie.
So if you stereotype wrestlers, you say the heavies, and here's a takedown.
Crisp just kind of coming around on that.
And he's really
right
driving that arm bar. Yep.
Oh, potentially dangerous. So you had that, the arm was up a little bit there.
He had the right shoulder.
Got caught into a chicken wing position there.
If you stereotype wrestlers, you say the big guys are, slow and plodding. And,
never tell them that to their face.
They're not, though, is my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Petrich quickly to his feet.
And I think the body type has changed, too, over the years. Is that training, or is that a different approach? Or
Well, I think I see a lot of guys, and I think Tommy Rollins is a great example. Was a two-time national champion at Ohio State. Tommy started in high school as a 138-pounder, and he was just really one of those nonstop wrestlers. And he ended up being a heavyweight at Ohio State, and he never lost that wrestling skill. So
Crisp trying to get another takedown, and look at what McFedrich has done. And Crisp rolled out of it.
Popping the head out of there on the headlock.
Crisp looking for the clock, and he found it. He's got 10 seconds to hold on, and he won't be able to. Adjust his headset, and we're inside 5. It's 6-2. Cameron Crisp of Manchester with the lead after a period.
Crisp defers to McFedrich, and McFedrich chooses the down position.
That was an aggressively wrestled first period.
They kept after it.
Yeah. There was no dancing.
No. Referee stopped it early. They were in that over-under tie, and he broke them out of that. That's referee letting him know, I want to see some action out of you, and we saw some action then.
McFedrich trying to get up from the mat. Had a moment, but the strength of Crisp has kept him down. He'll ride those hips. Got that chicken wing in.
He's driving that arm across now.
Yep.
He's looking for some back points here. He's got to trying to get his chest inside of McFedrich's shoulder there. So he can get that deep. There it is, deep across the arm. This is going to be tough for McFedrich to come out of. That's a deep half right there.
That is really secure, and that's it.
And Crisp gets the fall there.
Yep. Boy, that's just locked in. I mean, there was no escaping that, Tom.
6 points for the Spartans of Manchester, and they take a 34-11 lead entering the heavyweight bout here.
So season-wise, at heavy for Mount Union, Stephen Mara is one of the top heavies in the country.
Undefeated right now, ranked number 16 by Russell Stat.
We'll get the
Blaine Crispin's father was telling me that Mara is Blaine's regular practice partner, the 84-pounder working up with the 285-pounder.
It's Jimmy Rincon for Manchester wrestling against Stephen Mara.
Okay, Rincon comes in as a freshman at 0-0.
I was talking to Stephen, and there's Mara with the ankle.
Nice low ankle shot.
Yep.
By Mara.
Right to
quickly going.
Right
he
to the
keeps
back.
The leg, looking to turk that. He got the leg turked. Rincon gets back to his base. Mara, nice job of looking for points right off the takedown there, off that low ankle shot.
Yeah, he went right into the takedown, right to an aggressive pin
Absolutely.
move.
Now he's going to look for that cradle. Keeping the pressure on Rincon here.
Drag him back onto the mat.
And even the edge rules have changed quite a bit, so they let you wrestle a whole lot more on the edge of the mat than they used to.
Well, a good friend of yours and an acquaintance of mine last year when we went down to watch Ohio State wrestle, a longtime wrestling official in northeastern Ohio, said he would always tell the wrestlers, if you wrestle at the edge of the mat, I'm in charge. If you keep everything inside, then you're in charge.
Yep, I heard him tell many a wrestler that in the pre-match when we talked to the teams. Oh, nice job by Merritt coming up in that underhook, taking Rincon right to his back.
And that's it.
Boy,
Boom.
Gets the fall.
Boy,
Nice
Stephen
job by
Merritt,
Mara.
quick work.
Not messing around there.
Nope.
So that'll make the final 34-17. The Manchester Spartans over the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
3 duels today. Case Western Reserve and Manchester will be next. Tom will take a timeout. We'll be back as the Spartans wrestle the Spartans.